I really, really appreciate what Bert and what Roxy have contributed to your your Ion stuff and your Zappa stuff, because I have never been a big Zappa follower. But I know, but with you guys and hearing what you're doing, and then I've also been, at Zappa concerts with Bob, watching him do his, air guitar.
You're not a Zappa fan, Sue? You went to concerts with Zappa, you're not a Zappa fan? Oh, my goodness.
I know.
It's a bad mark. It's not good on a resume.
What can I say? I'm a holdout.
That's a holdout. You're trying to keep your sanity.
Yeah.
What kind of music? What is your music taste? I'm curious. What's your musical taste?
She likes Lottie. She likes that Lottie somebody of the late 70s. What was it, Lottie Livich?
I'm visual.
Lenny Lovich.
What can I say? I'm visual. What can I say? I'm a visual person. I'm not really big time into music. I'm really sorry about that. But Bob has introduced me to so many different aspects of it. It's wonderful. And the John Cage stuff, all the video stuff, all the art over the years. I guess I can say I sort of do appreciate Zappa in certain forms. I think I loved his which
you like Bert Weenie Sandwich. Bert Weenie Sandwich.
Arriving too late for a drama.
Right. And you like Bert Weenie Sandwich and 1970 Holiday in Berlin. You like that? Yeah. And I've certainly been to Bob's house and been inundated with Zappa stuff, but hey, I can let it roll over my head. I can just, sit there like a dunce and let it kind of flow over and not totally embrace it. But there was wonderful things about Zappa, and certainly that time that I was able to introduce Bob to Zappa's drummer, to Zappa, and have... was he the piano player or the drummer? Only for that tour in '84. His name was Alan Zavod, Z-A-V-O-D. He was a jazz guy. He didn't stay long with Frank. He just did that tour. But we saw him in Halifax the night Reagan got reelected, November 6th. November 6th, 1984.
1984.
I think it was November 6th. The day Reagan got reelected. We were in Halifax.
How do you like that, eh? Bob can remember that.
Yeah.
Well, I just remember, Bob, that time when we went to the concert. You were absolutely fucking amazing doing your air guitar in the aisle.
I was the only guy dancing in the aisle. These were passive Nova Scotians. Yeah.
It was amazing. And here you were with all these Club 22 types, right?
Including Garrett. That was a great triumph having Garrett there.
Yeah, Garrett was there. He had his ascot on. He had his formal dress on. He was really awesome. And, who else was there? Greg and Art. Yeah. And that was pretty amazing. So we went there and saw them, and afterwards we thought, where would they go? Would they go to this club? Would they go to that club? And we tried to figure out where we could go in Halifax to find Zappa. But we didn't go anywhere, did we?
Just a minute. I'm getting Carolyn to mute. You're stirring there. So what did you say? We went where?
We didn't go anywhere that night. I don't think we could figure out any club Zappa would go to.
Yeah, everything was closed down. It was late, and we didn't know where Zappa was. It was the next day, Bert, and I've told the story before. Sue, of course, had to go do bullshit bourgeois, go to a fucking shopping mall, buy some crap, and I had nothing to do. I wasn't going to stay home in her stupid little house, so I said, oh, fuck, let's go. So I went along, sat along there. I said, what am I wasting my time? I got to get back to Toronto. Fuck this shit. I can't handle this Halifax. There's nothing going on here. And I'm sitting there, and Sue goes into the fucking mall. She goes into the mall, and she comes out with a guy. What? Are you speaking at the same time as I am?
Yes.
Listen to this first. Bob is sitting in my car, okay? I'm parked outside on the road. I'm running into the mall to grab something. I don't even know what it is. As I'm going through the roundabout thing there that you go into the mall with, I run into this guy, and it turns out to be Zappa's drummer.
No, piano player. Alan Zabad.
Anyway, I recognize the guy. I say, hey, weren't you in the Zappa thing last night? And oh my God, it was fantastic. Had a great time. And I'm coming in the doors. This guy's going out the doors. And I say, hey, what you doing? How come you're still here? And he says, oh, well, our flight's not going till later on. I said, hey, let me drive you back to your hotel. He goes, oh, it's just up the hill. I said, no, let me drive you back to the hotel. It would be a pleasure. He said, okay. So we go back to the car. I said, Bob, get in the back of the car.
Okay, so now let me, Sue.
Bob doesn't
Wait, Sue, my turn, Sue. Now let me fill in. Wait a minute, Sue. I have to mute Sue. I'm going to mute you, Sue. Listen.
And listen, Bob, wait a minute. I recognize this guy. I gave up whatever I was going to that mall for to bring him back, to put him in the car, to drive him back to the hotel. And if I know it was just up the hill, but frig, I put him in the car. I thought, oh, Bob's going to love this.
Okay, but look, Sue, here's my perspective. I'm sitting there in the car wondering how long I got to put up with Sue buying crap. And she comes up with a guy, and I go, that's fucking floozy. She picked up a fucking asshole. What a fucking prostitute, you know? What a fucking whore. You know, she has to fucking always meeting people. Always meeting. So this fucking idiot comes out and says, oh, shit, I got to get in the back seat. So I get in the back seat. This long-haired asshole gets in the front seat. He's kind of looking at Sue, and I look at him. And then I says, holy shit, that's fucking Alan Zabad. And I go, what? So I immediately like the guy. I switched off my hate vibe. Immediately say, wow.
Bob, you didn't know who he was for the first half, you know, like the first 15 minutes. You didn't know who the hell he was.
No, we were just, it wasn't that long, Sue. It wasn't that long because very quickly I'm saying, where do you guys stay? Where are you staying? And he said, this is Lynn, which was just 100 yards up the hill. And it was very short.
I was driving him up there.
So I start going on to him saying, look, Frank's there, right? Yeah. Is there a way I can get to talk to Frank? And he said, well, I'll see. So a little while later, either he or the bodyguard comes by and says, Frank's eating right now. He'll see you when he's finished. And I couldn't believe it. Holy shit. Because if you're not on the inside network, you can't get to see him. I mean, I get backstage in New York or places where I have friends who know Zappa and can get me in if I'm not in direct contact with him. This is in Nova Scotia, the fucking cold part of the Atlantic Ocean, and nowhere land, no connection. I don't even know where he is. And all of a sudden, I'm sitting there with him, thanks to Sue and her prostitute ways of picking up assholes all the time.
Hey, Bob, it was the Sue connection. What are you talking about?
I mean, Sue can gloat about that for the next 2,000 years. I mean, and then she got the only picture of me and Frank together. There's never been a photo of me and Frank, and she got it.
Wow.
So I'm sitting there, Bert, I'm sitting there when Bob and Zappa are sitting in the hotel lobby, right? And I'm sitting there with Frank's bodyguard, and we're just sitting there watching Bob and Zappa sitting on the couch together and yakking away.
But we had a reason to be together, Stu, because in August I was in New York with him, and I arranged to send the May Brussels recordings to him. So now it is November, a few months later, and I want to know what he thinks of them. And so we start talking about that, and he hasn't listened to them yet. And he tells me, he gives me Jane Friedman, his agent's name, about, go through her if you have some more questions. I'm on tour now. You can't call me at home. So go through my agent. So we arranged for future communications about what he makes of the May Brussels stuff. So I then end up there at his home on May 15th. I think it's Jerry Fialko's birthday. The May 14th or 15th. The Ides of March that Ian's talking about this week. And with Frank, and that's when we had continued the summit about the May Brussels tapes. And shortly after that, he calls up May Brussels, this is in 1985, and gives her a computer. But he got this information from her and some of the tapes I sent him that he used when he goes in September 1985 to Congress to do his famous speech against the censors of rock lyrics. That all came a part of that connecting for him to feel confident, because he had the dirt on everybody that was on the committee, which he got from May, was because Sue, I mean, it wasn't that important for me to talk to him at that day, because it could have happened later and he hadn't heard the tapes yet, but having been with him in August, that reinforced it, put his mind onto it, made sure he got the tapes, and that led to him a year later doing what he's most famous for now, chewing out the politicians. That's what people know him as.
So I was just your little link there, Bob, to get you to Zappa.
Right.
And it was...
And change the world again.
It's so funny to come back to the car and say, hey, Bob, get in the back.
Yeah. And I'm a nice guy. I'm only a fucking guest.
Band members in the front of my car, drive them up to the hotel.
In my memory, it didn't take me long. Yeah, I was pissed off. Fucking idiocy. And I don't remember it taking very long for me to figure out what it is, but I do remember a period of, let Sue and him talk. And then I guess
I introduced you.
Maybe I didn't recognize him. Maybe you said who he was, and then I recognized him.
You didn't recognize him.
And you can see this guy. You can see this guy in a few videos of 1984 concerts. You'll see him playing the piano. He used to do long solos, and some of the other band members later said that he was didn't know how to really fit into Frank's band. He was used to doing long solos, but he didn't get long enough, and it's sort of awkward what he does. It's really good, but you can see.
Well, good thing he was a disc, because he ended up in my car, and I drove him like 3 blocks back to the hotel.
Right.
Good thing he was a disc, Bob.
What?
Good thing he was a ditch.
That's right.
And he ended up in my car with you in the back seat and me driving him 3 blocks up to the hotel.
No, he's got to think back. If he's smart, he goes, that's Bob's intelligence agent, because he has to say, he meets this woman in the doorway who insists to drive him back, and then all of a sudden he's watching the guy that Sue was sitting with is talking to Frank in a summit meeting right there in the lobby. He has to wonder, how did this happen? How did this guy who knew Frank end up sitting there with a serious conversation?
Well, I don't remember seeing him when Frank was
No, I don't either.
In the lobby.
But he could have been looking at it from the distance.
Yeah, who knows? But I remember Frank walking us out to the front doors, and I remember what a sort of gentleman he was.
Yeah.
He was very charming and
aristocratic.
I mean, I didn't really speak to him, but I asked if I could take a picture of the two of you together, and he was very accommodating that way. And
well, you might have noticed how he was talking. I talked to him about Garrett, and you probably picked up the vibe, how respectful he was when I told him what Garrett said about his work. I said that Garrett...
Yeah, that it was like it was like a waterfall of music.
No, Garrett said that Zappa was was harnessing and sculpting the forces of nature.
Yeah, force of nature.
Forces, natural forces. And I know Zappa never heard anybody say that to him, so I give him a little intro about who Garrett is, how important he is, and then I say what he said, and his respect and sincere response to that is what Sue's picking up about his aristocratic gentlemanliness. I could also understand if he was walking us out to the front door, how women could fall for him and his charm. Yeah. Even though sometimes he looks ugly. I know what you mean. Sometimes he looks ugly.
I mean, he was just very, respectful and like a gentleman to me as I walked out with you guys and Bob. But I could definitely feel that he was checking me out as a female. That's for sure.
Right. Now look at this, Sue. What you're really picking up is that years of me and Frank, helping each other. Many conversations, many things we'd done. I give them top information. That's what you should have seen, the respect that he gave me. That's what you would have picked up. I mean, it was like the gentleman part of him came out of him because I was there as a gentleman.
Yeah. I mean, Bob has always been a gentleman in my world, but I didn't expect that to be a Zappa thing.
Right.
Like I always sort of thought that Zappa would be rougher or
thicker.
Thicker or rougher, more stupid, or just a rocker kind of thing.
Right.
But he was elegant.
Right, and you saw a documentary of him a few years ago, and you saw even more elegance in him. That blew you away.
Yeah. And I like that aspect, It's almost like seeing Zappa back in the day when he first got on and did the bicycle thing on the television. Steve Allen, the bicycle thing where he was all dressed up in his suit and did his kind of this is sort of a new thing, but it's okay for you guys, and I'm just going to walk you through it. And he just had a very interesting sort of elegance to him. I was really impressed.
He was a genius. He had the genius, sovereign God consciousness coming out of him, even when he was young.
It's almost like McLuhan. McLuhan was a very classic guy.
Yeah.
He just wanted to stand more of the tension when you were around him.
That's right. Pay attention.
You know what I mean? Yeah. You kind of stood up straight and you looked at him in the eye and you kind of thought, this is a total human being here with an intelligence and an elegance about living on this planet. And how wonderful it is for me to stand here and meet this person.
Right. Okay, now we had lots of contact with that through Garrett. Garrett equally matched that kind of aristocratic bearing.
Oh, yeah.